Hello everyone, welcome to Lectures by Aparna. In today's video, we will discuss about bridge rectifier. Bridge rectifier is a type of full wave rectifier. We have already discussed about half wave rectifier. For those who want to watch the video, I will give the link in the description box just below this video. In half wave rectifier, if the input signal is like this, at the output you will get like this. That is, one half cycle of the input signal will be removed. This is the output and this is the input. But in full wave rectifier, if the input signal is like this, at the output you will get a signal like this. That is, it rectifies the negative component of the input voltage into a positive voltage. In contrast, a half wave rectifier will completely remove the negative voltage component. But in full wave rectifier, the negative component of the input voltage will be made into a positive voltage. So full wave rectification is more efficient than half wave rectification since the entire waveform is used and no part will be removed. So today we will discuss a type of full wave rectifier called bridge rectifier. The circuit diagram of a bridge rectifier is like this. There are 4 diodes D1, D2, D3 and D4 and a resistor R. Vi is the input voltage, it is given here, and output voltage V0 is appearing across the resistor R. Now let us see its working. Let the input signal be like this. We have to consider the period from 0 to T by 2 of the input signal. During this time, the resulting polarities across the diodes will be like this. So the diodes we are considering here are ideal diodes. Here plus will be coming here and the minus will be coming here. So D1, when plus is coming here, minus is coming here. For D1, the N region is at a positive potential compared to the P region. So D1 will be reverse biased and it will be off. But D2, the P region will be at a higher potential compared to the N region. So D2 will be forward biased and it will be on. Similarly here, it is negative voltage coming here. So for D3, the N region will be more negative compared to P region. So D3 will be on. And for D4, the P region is more negative compared to the N region. So D4 will be off. As a result, D1 and D4 is off and D3 and D2 is on. So for ideal diode, if it is diode is off, it will be considered as an open circuit. So you get an open circuit here. And when D2 and D3 is on, it will be a short circuit. So this portion will be acting as a short circuit. As a result, the conduction path will be like this. This is the conduction path. You get the output voltage V0 in the same polarity as that of the input signal. As a result, in the waveform, it will follow the same input signal. The output voltage will follow the same input signal. If input voltage was like this, at the output you get the same voltage with same polarity as that of the input signal. Now let us consider the next half cycle from T by 2 to T. What is happening? In the next half cycle, you can see that the polarity of Vi is like this, minus here, plus here. So as a result, D1 will be having a more negative potential at the N region and positive potential at the P region. So D1 will be on. For D2, this P region will be more negative compared to N region, so it will be off. For D3, P region is having negative potential compared to the N region. So D3 will be off. And for D4, this P region will be more plus compared to the N region. So D4 will be on. So D1 and D4 will be on and D2 and D3 will be off. So this will be open circuit and this will be short circuit. As a result, the conduction path will be like this. But looking at the previous figure, you can see that the direction of current through the resistor R is the same in both cases. So the polarity of the signal across resistor R is the same as the previous case. So in the signal, in the output waveform, you can see that even if the input signal is negative, at the output it will be having the same polarity as the previous time period, that is from 0 to T by 2. As a result, you get a positive voltage for both these time periods. So this is the case of an ideal diode. Now let us consider practical diodes. What will happen for practical diodes? So I am using silicon diode here. So considering silicon diode, we can see that the input signal for the silicon diode is also given like this. This is the network with silicon diode for the time period 0 to T by 2. First I am considering the time period 0 to T by 2. So what is happening here? Here also the same way, plus will be coming here, minus will be coming here. As a result, D1 and D4 will be off, D3 and D2 will be on. So the conduction path will be like this. The only difference is that for silicon diode, when it is forward biased, the voltage across it will be maintained at 0.7 volt. So the diode can be replaced as a DC supply which maintains a voltage at 0.7 volt. So both these diodes will be replaced as 0.7 volt. Now the conduction path is like this. Now we have to apply KVL in this path. So applying KVL here, you can see I am starting from here. This is an increase in potential, so it will be plus Vi. When I reach here, it is a decrease in potential because this is plus and this is minus. So when it goes from plus to minus, it will be minus Vd, and in this path again there is a decrease in potential, so minus V0. Here again a decrease in potential, so it will be minus Vd equal to 0. So here you get V0 is equal to Vi minus 2 Vd. The value of Vd is 0.7. So here you get V0 is equal to Vi minus 2 into 0.7, which is Vi minus 1.4. You can see that at the output, see this is a positive half cycle. So during that time, the peak value of the input signal, say I am considering V0 maximum value during this time period, will be equal to the maximum value of Vi during this time period is Vm. So substitute that value Vm minus 2 Vd or Vm minus 1.4. So the maximum value of output voltage will be at Vm minus 2 Vd. That is, which was at Vm got shifted downwards to Vm minus 2 Vd. Now considering negative half cycle, what is happening? In the negative half cycle, that is from T by 2 to T, D1 and D4 will be on, D3 and D2 will be off. In the negative half cycle, polarity will be like this. So the conduction path is like this. Now again here also the direction of flow is the same as the previous case. See, across resistor R, the direction of flow of current is same as the previous case. So here also the output signal will be having same polarity as the previous case. So here the direction of flow is like this. Here also when you apply this Kirchhoff's voltage law, you get the equation like this. Applying KVL, you get the equation like this. So here also the output voltage will get shifted downwards by Vm minus 2 Vd. Peak value gets shifted downwards. Another thing you have to note in this waveform is that there is a offset in time here at these portions. This is because of the time that the diode takes to turn on, because only after the input voltage crosses 0.7 volt the diodes will turn on. So in this case, when it crosses 0.7 volt, the diode will turn on, diodes in the conduction path will turn on, and once it reaches 0.7 volt and goes below this 0.7 volt, again output voltage will become 0 until in the negative half cycle when it crosses minus 0.7 volt. What happens? It will again turn on, and when it reaches above minus 0.7 volt, it will turn off. So this process continues. So this is the input output waveform when you use silicon diodes in a bridge rectifier. If this video has helped you, please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.